folks, Lee at Real Rollers, and today we're going to show you how to remove and reinstall the rear drum on a Revolution reel mower. But to get started, we're going to show you guys a few tips and tricks to make this a little bit easier and more manageable if you have to work off the ground or you don't have a table to work off of. But first thing I want to do is I want to turn my mower on, and I'm going to move my fuel to the off position, and I'm going to start the mower. I want to drain all of the fuel out of the carburetor before I do this, because you'll see later on, we're actually going to take the mower, and what's a cardinal sin in your mind? We're going to take the mower and we're going to flip it forward so that the rear drum is up in the air. Now, you've probably heard a bunch of times, never lean a mower back, never lean a mower over, because the fuel can mix with the oil. But when you flip a mower and engine forward, you don't have to worry about that as much. It's only when you flip it backwards that the oil and the fuel get into the carburetor and mix each other. So, step one, we're gonna light the mower up. We're gonna start it, we're gonna move our fuel switch to off, and we're gonna let the mower run, and it's in the off position now. We're gonna let the mower run until all of the gas runs out of the carburetor. This should only take about 1 minute. If you're running your mower and you're at 5 minutes, you definitely haven't shut the fuel off. We're not taking the fuel out of the gas tank, only in the carburetor, which is where we use this little valve switch. So, I'm gonna turn the motor on, start it up, let this drain out, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, now that we've drained the gas out of the carburetor and the engine's shut off on its own, meaning once I shut the fuel off, all the gas is gone. Next, we're gonna remove the drive shaft cover, just for easy access, as well as the side cover, and then we're also gonna remove the 3 different chains. So I'll be back with you in 1 second after I get these all removed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this clutch. To get to the drum, what we're going to do is remove this drive clutch, which has a bolt that goes through it. Take this off so that we can get to this chain. We're going to remove this chain, and ultimately we got to remove this sprocket first. So I'm going to take this off first. Simply take my 13mm box wrench and a T-tool or socket, and we're going to take this off. Just gonna set that right here to the side for now. And you'll see this can come off. So I'm gonna take this right here off. Now that I have easy access to it. You can see this link is down here. The easiest way to put on this link and this chain and take it off is to move it till it gets to right here. So I'm going to lift up on the mower and I'm going to rotate till it's there. Once it's there, I can slide this whole assembly out, and you can see how the chain comes off. I'm going to drop that. Next, I'm going to pull the clutch pad off. It has a sprocket on the back, and now I have access to this sprocket. So we're going to remove this bolt. It's a standard thread, and I keep talking about standard thread. What I mean is lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So this is just normal lefty-loosey. The secret is this sprocket is a reverse thread. So to loosen it, I must go right. That's why I keep talking about this. So the first thing I must do is remove this safety bolt. this in here. So it's removed. It's got a washer, bolt washer, lock washer, and now I have the sprocket. Now to remove this sprocket, I must rotate it this way. And it is threaded into the drum axle. So I remove that bolt. I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver. I found a big one. I'm going to grab a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. And I'm going to put it right here on this tooth. And I'm going to hit it down. And I'm going to hit it pretty hard because I need to bust this free off of the rear drum. So I get my screwdriver, hit it hard, and you see how this is spinning right off? Once I have it off, I can show you. If you come close, you can see that's threaded, and the inside of this is threaded. So once that's off, we're ready to rock and roll. That was the hardest part. So, I'm going to set this to the side. And now this is a huge, important step. I'm going to take a marker. See this marker? Come on over here real quick, please. There's a metal pad right here. It's a deflector. It keeps debris from getting in. But this side of it must be out or you'll never get it back on. So what I'm going to do is take this marker right here, and I'm just going to put my initials on it for fun. So I know how this goes back on this one metal plate. If you have this on backwards, it can make this much more difficult. I've learned the hard way. So let me help you. Take a dot, take a marker, take something before you take this off so you know which end is going out. All right? So we're going to get this mower up, as we mentioned, on its nose, and then we're going to start taking the rear drum off, show you guys how to reinstall it and install it. Be with you in 1 second. Okay, before we put the mower up on the block and lean it forward, I'm just going to loosen the different nuts and bolts that hold on the rear drum retainer. So there's 3 on this side, as I mentioned earlier. You're on the move. So you got 3 right here, 1, 2, 3. These 2 are easily accessed from behind, but this one you really need to access it from the front. So I'll take my box wrench, 13 millimeter or 1/2 inch. I'm going to feed it right in there. And it doesn't have to be right on the nut because as I rotate this, there I can slide it right on. So I'm taking this one off completely. Just makes it easier. Down the road. Now that I have that one loose, now I'm going to go ahead and put it up here on the block to make accessing the rest of these easier. So, as I mentioned, I'll grab them down here. Those blocks are on 11 inches just so I can get the engine propped up and the rear drum exposed, and overall pretty stable. Be safe with this. You may want to put 2x4s in front behind the rollers, the front roller, but check it before you get after it. And just be aware that you got this thing up on its end so you don't want it to fall down or anything. Now that I got the front one loose, I'll keep loosening up these other ones. On this side, got those all loose. Now go over this side. I haven't taken them out yet. I'm just trying to loosen everything up. And the last one. I'm not as good left-handed as I am right-handed, but let's stop hitting this post. Alrighty. We've got them all loosened up. So now we're going to take the rear drum out. Here's how it goes. Since these are all hand tightened, you can take these out real close. I get my hand in there and I'm going to take this one off first. So, this bolt, washer. Inside here we have a lock nut. I'm going to set that right there so I don't lose it. I'm going to take out another one. The order doesn't matter, but I do like to get this one out first, because it's the hardest to get to. Now there's some weight on these because the drum's being held up. But there's number two. I'm gonna leave one in there on that side just so it doesn't fall. And because I'm working by myself technically. And then I'm gonna take this bottom one out. And I'm gonna leave the bolt in there for right now until I get this other nut off. Let you drop right there. Perfect. So, now let's take the drum out. Got one last nut to loosen up. Put that right there. All right, guys. Now, if you can back up a little bit so you can see kind of what, from a distance what I'm doing. So we're going to lift up and remove this last bolt from this side. My drum can move now freely. I'm going to let it sit there on the bed knife holder. Then I'm going to come over here and remove that one and this one. And now the drum's completely free. So I'm going to bring this side down first. If you want to come over here to my left and look on this side. Over here to my left. That's the left. And you're going to see it was in there like this. I'm just pulling it out just like that. And here, if you remember, we had the plate that we wrote our name on, and it sits with the holes lined up, just like that. If I had it this way, I'll never get it lined up. Always make sure. Yeah, just like that. So, that's what the mower looks like without the drum in it. We've got our bed knife holder, grass shield, it's our frame. Of course, we got a reel down here, and our roller and our bed knife. Really gives you a lot of access. So let's go get the new drum and pop it in here, and I'll show you guys where we go from here. All right, guys, we got the drum out. Now we're gonna put the drum right back into the Revolution. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab this plate. If you remember, I wrote LP on it, so I knew which side was out, and that plate simply slides right there. I can't line up from this angle, but it goes right there. So, what I'm gonna do first is grab my roller, set it right here, make sure I've got this facing out, and then I'm looking to make sure I get this rotated so that everything lines up, which is right there. You can see how both circles fit right there. So, I'm going to grab these bolts and then proceed to put this thing right where it belongs. So I'm going to hold this so that I know I'm locked in and I'm in the right position. And I'm going to feed this piece in first. Right, like so. I'm trying to keep these aligned pretty easily. Then I'm also sliding in the other side at the same time. So I've got this one really close. I'm going to grab this bolt right here. Looks like I need to do a little slight adjustment. Get that metal plate. So, try to got one lined up, and I can see my initials. I can see my initials there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, I got one of them on. I'm gonna put the nut on the one, just so I don't lose that. There's that side. or that one bolt. And then over here, I don't know if you were watching, but I was lifting it up and putting this side in at the same time. And this side's a little bit easier once you figure out how the holes line up. So, just trying to get these all right. There's one. There's two. There's three. I put all three bolts in just to get them in. Now I'm simply going to put the nuts on, just so they don't fall out, since we've won the battle already. There's that one. There's two. I'll use these two for now. And the third one, I'll reach up and under here and get it started. Oh, that's real life. Dropped it. But here it goes. Perfect. So I've got all three nuts and bolts started on this side. We're gonna go back here and finish this guy up, make sure we get our alignment. I can see my initials from earlier. I can see the hole in the first metal plate. Now I just gotta spin this bearing retainer behind it to find out where that hole is. And it looks to be right there. There we go, get the second one in. And we're done, folks. That was it. Whoop. Fumble. Got this other nut on here. Boom. So what I'm gonna do, just so y'all know, I'm gonna let the mower back down. I'm going to tighten these two bolts first, all right? Get the mower back on its normal stance, tighten these two bolts, then you can refer to our other video that we did on how to level the mower, because right now this rear drum isn't level with the bed knife. So what I'll do is I'll snug these up just a little bit, these three, set it down, put my spacers under it. We have a video on how to level the roller and the bed knife. We'll level it, throw back on our sprockets and chains, and we'll do that for you guys right now. But I just want to give you an overview. Now that the drum's on, it's easy peasy from here. So let's go ahead and get this thing finished up in the next 10 minutes. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to lean the mower back onto its feet. I'm going to cheat, because we have it. These blocks out of our way real quick, don't need these anymore. Got our drum in place. All right, this is gonna be easy peasy, man. Let me grab my sockets. And I'm gonna snug this side up real quick, just so I wanna try to keep things a little straight as possible. So, grab my 13mm box wrench. I'm just going to barely tighten these up. I just want to be somewhat straight before I tighten the other side. Pretty good. I got this guy to get, like I said earlier, a little easier to reach this one from the front. Oh, kind of got my forklift in the way, but go in there a little blinded, get close to the nut, and then it slides in place. Box wrench. those are kind of hand tight, but just tight, so that when I put these in, they'll be straight. That one. And this one looks like it's a little bit hidden for me. So I'm gonna hang it over this edge real quick. Maybe I should have done this one first. You may have to lean the mower up. Have a little edge like this, just to get this bottom one. Oh, it's nice and tight. Back to this one. Nice and tight. And I'm going to go ahead and level the mower now, and then tighten up this side once I get the mower level. So it's going to be cool for you guys to see a mower that's completely unlevel. But like we always do, move this mower over some. I'm going to raise my height of cut high enough to get my two little bearings, bushings, whatever you'd like to call them. We'll call them bushings here, but that's what they are. But you can use sockets, you can use kids' toys, anything that's equal in size. But you can see, oi. All right, that one's fitting right underneath that side. Tiny little gap. Let's go see how it looks on the other side. I'm assuming it's off. It's a little bit off. See, I can't get this one under. It's not quite able to go under, but the other side was, so all I'm going to do, raise my height a little bit more so I can get this second one under. All right, it's under. ESPN just had a nice update. All right, under on that side of the bed knife. Under on this side of the bed knife. Now I'm going to lower my height of cut. And I'm lowering my height of cut so that the weight goes onto this bearing. So I loosen the roller, the height of cut, I'm going to lift it up just a hair, and you'll see if you come around here, the roller's not touching. All the weight is on the bushings or the rear drum. So to make sure this is perfectly level, what I'll do is I'll push the mower up, and as I move it up, now the mower is sitting on those two front bushings on the bed knife and the rear drum. You can see how, if you watch this line right here, watch how it's able to go up. Now that it's up, I'm going to drop this down a hair for my own good, maybe a little bit lower. And I'm going to put a little shoulder into it to make sure I'm lifting and putting the weight onto that front bushing as I tighten this up. Now, I'm going to check it. I only tightened up one so far. Because I want to make sure I did it right and all in there good. So we're going to lift the mower up. Sitting on the bed knife there. Sit on the bed knife here. And if you look, I'm pushing up to make sure the weight's on the bed knife. It's sitting on both sides. I can't spin the drum. That means these four corners, bed knife corners and rear drum corners, squared up. Now that I know I'm squared up, I'm going to tighten down the rest of the drum, and we're level. In a second, I'll show you what we do with the front roller when we're leveling, but the front roller just stops the wobble. The front roller does not adjust the rear bed knife, or sorry, the bed knife levelness to the rear drum. Only the rear drum does that. So, balance tight. spin from the front. Make it just rotate it. Boom. And that one's tight. Woo. So tight, tool got stuck. Now that my rear drum's perfect, my bed knife's perfect. Let's see if our roller's perfect. Make sure it's not wobbling. So I'm gonna pull these out. Boom, there's one. I'm gonna grab this other one. Bushings are out. And now I'm gonna see, is my mower teetering? I can't get it to teeter. When I say teeter, I mean, is a mower, if I push up, is it rocking? It's not. It's perfectly square. Now, for you guys, I knew it was going to be perfectly square after I put the drum right because this mower was square before we started. So I knew my front roller was going to be square, but I went through the whole process so you could see it because when we took the drum out, we definitely took away that perfect levelness of the bed knife and the rear drum. Now that the bed knife and the rear drum, are level, the roller's not wobbling because it was already set to be perfect. You know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now let's put the side together. Putting the side together, we'll start with the sprocket, rear drum sprocket. I wish I could quiz you guys, but this is a reverse thread. Heads up, remember that. So I'm gonna take it, and normally it's so natural to spin it right, we're gonna spin it left. Woo! Got that on there snug. I will take my flathead and my hammer. I'm just gonna give it one tap. It doesn't have to be a ton, because as you drive the mower, this is naturally gonna tighten. But I found a corner sprocket right here, 9 o'clock maybe. I'm just gonna give it one tap down. That was 3. But I'm gonna snug that up. That's snugged up. My bolt spacer washer goes right there. I'm gonna start cheating because for time, I'm gonna set this at about 17 pounds so I don't go too far, but got that tight. I'll come back with a hand wrench because I never like to use a drill to do all my tightening. I feel like I'll strip something or it won't be good, so I got a little wash nut back there. That's good and tight, sweet. Next, we're gonna put this clutch brake on. Rear drum clutch goes on like this. Right over the sprocket. Just making sure I have a good feel, good resistance, spins well, perfect. Let's do the chain next. So the 40 chain for the back is right here. So there's a quick tip on how to put this one on. I've had people ask us before, hey, what's the secret to putting this chain on because it's kind of hard to get to. I'm going to show you the secret. So number one, we're going to start on this side. I'm going to drape it down. And you have 2 options here. I say you have 2 options. I'm trying to get this behind this clutch. There we go. Either A, I can remove this bracket and I'll have the clearance to get the chain through. Or B, what I like to do is I drape this chain over like this. I put it on the sprocket and I lift the mower up a little bit and just rotate the rear drum and it puts it in between here just like I needed. I'll grab this other end. It just fell down. I'll just get out of the way and continue to work this chain through. A little slack. Now that I got the chain on, come back over here for me, please. You're going to see we got the chain in here, and my goal is to connect it right about here, if you can see. The secret to that, though, is take your master link, slide it on this half, just like so. I'm going to set it right there for now. I'm going to grab my needle nose, right here. So this is the master link. I'm going to grab this link right here with my needle nose, something like that. I'm going to hold it, and you'll see that this can still come out, this clutch. So I'm going to grab my chain, like so. I get my fingers clear, fat fingers. I'm going to get this chain on the sprocket, like that. See it coming around? And then if you look right here, I'm using the needle nose to do my work. I'm going to get, see how I lined it up? And then I'm using this clutch, and I'm going to push this clutch pad in, and it's on. So I'll keep pushing, and then there it goes. I'm a little bit behind this clutch pad in my dream world. See, if you look from here, I can't quite get to it. So I'm going to go back over here real quick and just do another little slight rotation. Boom, now I can see it. Beautiful. Put my finger behind it so I don't lose it. Bam. Closed end, always going forward. Bam. And then needle nose. Send it home. That chain's on. That was pretty easy and pretty quick. Next, whoop, sorry about that drill. Clutch pad, or sorry, clutch. Again, sprocket side will be out. So I'm gonna slide this guy right on like so. Got my, so that you guys can see, I'll take this stuff apart. Oh, it's dirty. Oh, it's dirty. I'm gonna throw my bearing, goes in the middle. This spacer, it's like a top hat, looks like. The top hat end goes in. Just keeps that centered. And then my bolt. Whoop. The bolt's gonna pass through. And sometimes you have to move this little bracket right here. This is what engages the rear drive. When you depress the red bail, it goes whoosh, and it pulls this whole thing in. So I got this through. Got a little bit of thread showing. Can you see it right there? Got this little bushing that goes first. It's like a little washer, but if you can see it, there's a flat side, and this side's got a little bit of a curve to it. I want my curved side going in. So I'm gonna grab my needle nose, like so. Just slide it right under there. Boom, that one's in. And sometimes you can use this to kind of help space things out a little bit. Like I'll pull it back a little bit so I can get to my nut. Now that I've got my nut on my needle nose, just gonna get in there beautifully. I'm gonna spin my left hand to get it started. I dropped down that one. 2 times is the trick. Get that thing clear. She started. Once I got it started, go back to my 13 millimeter. And we're just going to tighten this up a little bit. Nothing crazy. Because later I got to set my drive, the ground propulsion, with this. The easy way to set your drive propulsion without being scientific, just in this state, is this thing has to be able to spin freely, and the mower's got to roll forward. We're going to set it better in a minute, but I was just trying to get it close. And there it is. We're close. Last thing is putting on the reel chain and the drive chain. We're done. So here we'll go with the drive chain. Now this mower, we have the tensioner off right now, so we're doing a few things with this mower. We'll put it back on later. Boom. There it is. Cool. All right. So guys, in summary, I'm not going to bore you with putting chains back on and side covers, but the next steps from here, just so you know, are going to be put on obviously a drive chain. We're going to put on the reel chain. Then we're going to put the mower on the ground. From there, we're going to start the mower at idle and refer to our video on how to set the ground engagement so that this red bail is hitting at the right time. And if you see, when I depress this, you'll see this thing moves. So that's what this mechanism does. When I press this red bail forward, it pulls this pad this sprocket into this clutch pad. Boom, off we go. So that's kind of how that works. But guys, hey, appreciate your time. I know this is a little bit of a longer video and had a little more detail to it, but honestly, the whole process of changing out a rear drum is probably about a 30 to 45 minute process. Obviously, I'm commentating and trying to show you guys everything that we're doing along the way, so it's a little bit slower, but that's how we can take out the rear drum, reinstall the rear drum. We set the level, we're gonna set the ground control, and this mower's ready to rock and roll. If you have any questions or need any support, guys, reach out to us on our website. We're here to help you out. We're here to support all of our Revolution owners. We appreciate your business, appreciate you as customers. Have a great day, and happy mowing.